Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasanti evacha Atikanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I'm here asking your forgiveness. But I'm half an hour early. All right. Just give me just 15 seconds. First of all, I've got the speaker on. Tell me what you've been covering today. I'm sure you've been saying something. You've been together. What have you covered today?
Well, we've been talking about Chiang Mai, Avadut Maharaj, Goswami Maharaj, the program preaching program that happens in Chiang Mai, and Dayavati was just sharing about ways to express Krishna consciousness in ways that people will relate to and understand. She's telling me not to mention her name now.
Okay, I didn't hear anybody's name.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right. And does anybody know about the Chiang Mai? They have the morning bhajans and the morning reading every day now on Instagram. With good audio, Kelly, due to your feedback. Kelly gave the feedback when I was there about, oh, we're happy to be there, but we can't hear anything. Then, you see, it's good to give feedback from the outside because then they know, and as a result, they now have good audio. It's Sri Gupta Govardhan, isn't it? Is their Instagram page. And they show the morning program. Yes, Sri_Gupta_Govardhan with no A at the end. And they have in the morning after the arati, when they sit down and do the bhajans, and they do the reading. And it's presentable. They've got it worked out. So, do you know about that? Is that what you were discussing, or you were discussing other things about Gupta Govardhan?
No, we were talking about the what was her name? Lalita Kanti, that preaching program that she started above the restaurant there. Mostly, that's kind of what we were talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Very good.
Anyway, you've been there, Maharaj. You've seen it. You know how successful it is.
Until the COVID thing, now they can't do it. But in Salt Lake City, they're successful still. But in Gupta Govardhan, they're still successful by digital and by the energy, like the energetic nature of the devotees. And they've got new people coming. And the people come, they visit, they inquire online, etc. But where it's successful for Harinam Sankirtan almost daily and distribution of the small books is as Munindra Prabhu rechristened the town Sweet Lake City. There, Salt Lake City, we see very happily the youngsters, they can't sit still. So if you can't sit still, get a madanga and cartels and go to the park. And they tried distributing books city center, but everybody was like so cautious. They don't want to touch a book, etc. And then they went to the park, and then they found that in the park, people are more or less chilling out and trying to get some relief from all of the kind of paranoia and everything. And so they love to hear the Sankirtan. So they go there and they, apparently I heard they float around the park on Sankirtan and distribute books and meet people. So that's a good example for us all.
Oh yeah, maybe. Sorry, Maharaj. Having some technical adjustments here.
Like the clock's going back an hour.
Yeah.
They do that in Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. So it's taken us a little while to adjust our schedule because at first we thought we couldn't get into the class because we were early, and then anyway.
And Janardha Maharaj is doing a weekly class in Salt Lake City now in English.
Uh-huh.
It's good because previously it seemed to he was mostly doing Spanish Zoom classes. And
Doing Chinese too.
can't
Whether
hear.
very
Oh man,
regularly. I
this thing stopped. Sorry. More technical difficulties.
Okay.
That's better. Yeah.
Oh, now we're hearing ourselves through your loudspeaker.
What's that?
We are hearing ourselves. Oh, now we're okay. We were hearing ourselves through your loudspeaker, I think. Anyway, I'm just saying that yes, Janard Maharaj is doing Chinese also.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's not okay. He's not speaking Chinese, but to the Chinese section, he's doing. All right. And what other points already? Half an hour you've been together? Anybody? Any suggestion?
Well, we were trying to encourage Ananda Vardhan and Jai Garanga to get onto the screen, but they're a bit reluctant.
Well, they're on the screen.
Well,
in front of the camera. In front of the camera, you mean?
Oh,
we can-
okay.
Come on.
And there you go. Jai Gauranga.
That's Maharaj.
And Ananta Krishna, happy to see you there. And Ananda Vardhan Prabhu. I was quoting your name yesterday in the evening class here, but not actually. I wasn't actually referring to you, but I was remembering you while saying
I don't think you're going to go to
it. The ever expanding, overflowing joy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Ananta, yeah, with Das on the end. Ananta Krishna has one question for you, Maharaj, if that's all right.
Does he? Okay. Yes, Prabhu. What is the question?
Oh, I picked up a poem the other day out of what's the little book that you?
Popanam Vivanamritam.
Yeah, Popanam Jivanamritam, and I can I read it to you? The poem. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, pardon?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh Krishna, please allow my mind to immediately yield to your lotus flower-like feet, just as the flamingo enters into the labyrinth of the lotus flower stems. When at the moment of my last breath, my throat becomes constricted by the action of the bodily ear, bile and phlegm, how will I be able to remember you? And it was written by Sri Kṛṣṇa-kathā. I don't know who Kṛṣṇa-kathā is. Is he Krishna or Arjuna, or is this a Maharaj?
This is a person. And
Yeah.
I would have to do a little homework to tell you exactly who he is. But there are other verses in there also quoted by Guru Maharaj.
Yes, lots of beautiful verses. Yes.
But it's not Krishna. And I don't want to say without double checking who is Krishna.
Thank you.
And not Arjuna.
But he's one of the devotees. And also Gurudev comments about Prapana Jivanamrita, how broad Guru Maharaj is in giving honor and drawing like the special things from different places. They're not all exclusively Gaudiya Mat. For instance, from the Ramanuja Sampradaya and from here, from there are different places which Guru Maharaj is quoting. But he's taking the good things. It's not that there aren't some good things here and there. He's taking those good things and presenting them in his explanation, in his showing the chronology or the ontology of the each chapter of Prapana Jivanamritam. And Gurudev, like in a very sweet way, saying how broad is Guru Maharaj. He's not envious of anybody. He's never envious. He's always taking the good from everywhere. And we just have to look up Kulashekar to just give correctly his lineage and his standing. But Guru Maharaj is drawn from that. And I'm very happy to hear you reading Shri Shri Prabhupada Jivanamritam. It is a treasure, life nectar of the surrendered souls. I mean, even the title, Shri Shri Prabhupada Jivanamritam. Jivan Amritam. Hare Krishna. Yes, and a welcome to everybody else. Sorry, I'm late. To Dayavati Devidasi. Welcome. And Prafull is nearby somewhere, no doubt. To Madhavi, to Shakira, holding the flag for South Africa. Abhinav and Kelly holding the flag for Australia. And we got 3 holding the flag for New Zealand. Maybe small country, but we got a big representation today. And Praneshwari holding the flag for Venezuela and the country called Florida.
And Rupanuga Peru is holding the flag higher than us for Australia.
Oh, Rupanuga Prabhu, sorry. Oh, Prabhu, I'm missing you. Good to see you. Looking like summer in Australia. I suppose it almost is. Spring to summer. You look like summer, and Abhinav and Kelly look like winter. Not so much. Abhinav's got a short sleeve t-shirt on, I see. Okay. Vandavat Rupanuga Prabhu. Govinda. And actually, to show that it's not only me, but actually I can hear some sounds outside. I invited Keshavananda Prabhu to come for the morning, our morning class whatever, back to basics. I invited him to come because we were discussing about these Jaya prayers, the key Jayas, this, that, and the other. And it is surprising how us old timers, we actually really do need to research and be back to basics of what we're saying key jais for. So he actually has done a little research. He's actually got a dictionary, which he's very happy with. And this way we'll get something a bit more, filling in the missing spaces, put it like that. So I can hear him, but it's probably, my misinstruction, because I told him to be here at 4. And then some spark came in my brain this morning. Clocks go back. I heard something like this. So anyway, I should have mentioned that 4 means 3. It's a code word, but I didn't tell myself that. So how could I tell him? Hare Krishna. So we may have to keep that for the next time. Let's see. Govinda.
But instead of 3 o'clock, we can move forward so you can have your 4 o'clock. Keep your 4 o'clock.
The time. No, it's fine.
That'll suit us. That'll suit Shakira also.
Oh, will it? Oh, yeah. Will it? Anyway, from my side, really, don't worry, because actually earlier, but how come? Oh no, 2 o'clock was the right time, because I was up at 2:10, and here's my friend who can tell you that if I find my alarm clock. I'd say, okay, not 2:10. I was up at 2:20 in the morning this morning. Okay, and even more proof, if you go to the Gupta Govardhan website, you will see that I logged in there and gave my obeisances. So not website, their Instagram, just to give a little, encouragement to them. So for 3 o'clock is not a problem for me, but you have to decide. But one thing we found when we changed another program, we changed the dates by 1 hour. But for some, it didn't work. So we lost 3 people from a group. It didn't work by changing an hour. So I don't know. I'm more inclined to keep it at the same time, is my thought. But Shakira, no problem for you, Shakira.
No, it's perfect, Maharaj.
So what time is it in South Africa now?
It is now 4:44.
Oh, yeah, so it's fine. You didn't change the time. Yeah, 4 o'clock is fine. For devotees, 4 is fine. Everything is good. Okay, so one thing, how is it that Nanda Maharaj, right, was taken by Varuna for bathing in the Ganges at the wrong time, or bathing in the Jamuna at the wrong time? Isn't that correct? Somebody was taken by Varuna, as far as I know, and it was all and it was the wrong time. And I never really thought until then that, oh, you can bathe too early in the morning in the river. Like I always think, oh, you get up in the morning, have an early morning bath, and then do all your things. But remember, in the Krishna books, there's a chapter where Krishna goes to bring back the father of somebody who was taken by the river because he bathed at the wrong time. Anyhow, okay, some homework for somebody here, all right? And anyhow, it shows that actually there's a right time to bathe and there's a wrong time to bathe. So even to be very early in the morning can be the wrong time to bathe. Just see. Hare Krishna. But we can be thankful of something. Gurudev, when he was in the West, he told about the calendar, the Vaishnava calendar, not the Vaishnava calendar, the astrological Panjika, the astrological calculations which are done. And there's in India, they have this thick book. It gets published every year, thick book of tiny print about all the times and beginning time, end time of auspicious, inauspicious, good for this, not good for that, etc. things. The Panjika. But in the West, Gurudev said, the Panjika in the West does not work, which kind of is a good thing in one sense, because we don't, if it doesn't work, then we can assume that, the inauspicious times that we do things in, that, okay, it doesn't work. So every time we just need to chant Hare Krishna. But in India, Gurudev did consult with the Panjika for certain things, not like for everything. And we know some Western devotees, I know one Western devotee, he doesn't do it so much now, but he used to be very, like anything he'll do every day, he goes to the Panjika. And so the Panjika became his guru, more or less, rather than, Guru being the guru or our devotional service. He became subservient to that, but he doesn't do it so much now. But we can think that's not the purpose of finding auspicious and inauspicious times. Inauspicious times, we do more service. Like Bhakti Shranga Goswami Maharaj, he would go collecting on Thursday afternoons, which in general devotees know, Thursday afternoon, it's not supposedly a good time for doing especially financial things. You're likely to lose money. You're likely to be the loser. But remember, all these things are for karmic circumstances, action and reaction, the effects of the planet, etc., exerting their influence by the sanction of Krishna for giving the particular reactions to the actions of the individual jiva souls. It's all calculated. And Bhakti Sranga Goswami Maharaj, he would go out specifically, particularly he'd go out on Thursday afternoon. And the devotees are saying, why are you going out on Thursday afternoon? It's, you know, it's a time to lose money. He said, yes. So somebody has to lose money, so someone has to gain. So the karmi people, those who are engaged in materialistic activities, yes, they're likely to lose money. I'm going there to collect that for Krishna. So that was Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj's positive view on, you know, what people are thinking, oh, it's a bad time for financial things. And Gurudev liked that story. How do we know that story? It's from Gurudev, and we've heard it from Gurudev several times. So I do know without research, it is Bhakti Saranga Goswami for sure. Hare Krishna. Ah, look, what is that? A rabbit? Shakira, what have you got there? What is it? It's a cat. I thought I had the wrong end.
Well, Maharaj, when she first came on, I saw the tail and I thought it was a snake. I said, what have you got, Shakira? Is it a snake? And, oh, no, it's a cat. That's like Bhaktivinoda Thakur's poem about the elephant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good poem. That's a good poem for our back to basics. Okay. Who can tell us the poem about the snake? Not about the snake, but the elephant. Do any of you have it handy? There's a big silence. English poem. Poems English PDF version. What is it? Oh, blindness. On his blindness. Okay.
Has it?
Huh?
It's in here.
Oh, here's another poem. Oh, but this is not blindness. Oh, here's Ozymandias' poem that Srila Goswami Maharaj keeps on, says quite common, at Ozymandias. Oh, but here I am. I've got The Blind Man and the Elephant. I got it right here. By John Godfrey Sack from 1816. And guess what? He died also 1887. And okay, I'll read it because it's classic and we all know English. It was 6 men of Hindustan, which is India, Hindustan. It was 6 men of Hindustan to learning much inclined, who went to see the elephant, though all of them were blind, that each by observation might satisfy his mind. The first approached the elephant and happened to fall against the broad and sturdy side. At once began to bawl, God bless me, but the elephant is very like a wall, number one. Second, the second, feeling of the tusk, cried, ho, what have we here? So very round and smooth and sharp. To me, it's mighty clear. This wonder of an elephant is very like a spear. Next verse. The third approached the animal and happened to take the squirming trunk within his hands, thus boldly up and spake. I see, quoth he, the elephant is very like a snake. Okay, are we remembering all of these? We'll have a mini test at the end. Okay, wall, spear, snake. The fourth reached out his eager hand and felt above the knee. What most this wondrous beast is like is mighty plain, quoth he. 'Tis clear enough the elephant is very like a tree. The fifth, who chanced to touch the ear, said, even the blindest man can tell what this resembles most. Deny the fact who can. This marvel of an elephant is very like a fan. Obviously an Indian fan, not an electric fan, right? The sixth no sooner had begun about the beast to grope, then seizing on the swinging tail that fell within his scope, I see, quoth he, the elephant is very like a rope. And so these men of Hindustan disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion exceedingly stiff and strong. Though each was partly in the right, and all were in the wrong. And then there's another verse given here saying moral. So oft in theologic wars, the disputants, I ween, rail on in utter ignorance of what each other mean, and prate about an elephant not one of them has seen. Hare Krishna. Anyhow, I think you all know this example was given by, this poem was given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In that book, the Bhagavat, he refers to this poem. And so saying about so much misunderstanding within religions because catching part. But what is the whole? So fortunately, we've come to Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. Fortunately, we've come to Mahaprabhu's teachings, and Mahaprabhu's teachings, they're fully intact. And we're getting the whole elephant and not just an ear or a tail or a leg. Okay, are you all ready for the quiz? Okay, we won't quiz you today because it's only about a silly elephant. Well, maybe a smart elephant. Elephants are very smart. Shakira knows, she's in South Africa. She's got elephants. Elephants in the garden? No. You live in the city or in the country, Shakira? Do you live in the city or in the country?
In the city.
In the city.
But even in the city, there are, lots of trees around and that, but there are some places that have animals in their enclosure, even in the city, but not elephants.
But not elephants.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. And African elephants, I assert, I mean, really, I feel the African elephant is more grand, like more royal looking than the Indian elephant. I don't want to make offense to the Indian elephants, but the Indian elephants have shorter ears and a different kind of face. The African elephants got these big ears and very grand. So I'm voting for the African elephant if there's ever a vote. Hare Krishna. Then, so Dayavati Didi, you've been very quiet. Would you like to make it? Oh, well, being quiet while I've been here, because I've been making all the noise. Yeah, I know. So do you have a little contribution for us? Or any elephants in Mexico?
Lots of elephants, Maharaj. Dandavad.
Dandavad.
Well, no. Just if now I am on the spotlight, just to thank you so much for your words. Actually, one of the things that we were talking about before you joined, it's that I really like your style of pitching, like the way you explain things, the words you use. I'm sorry I have to say this, but it's the truth. I was sharing that probably this all this that you talk, what you shared with us, it's not for our brains, but for our souls. But really, how you explain things helped me to understand them and sharing myself properly, like share it to other people that probably are not already on the path, not probably, they are not on a spiritual path, but the way you explain things, I can share them and they understand them, and just wanted to say that.
If I have been useful at any time or will be useful at any time, then that's our good fortune. So the other thing is that different, everybody has a different way of relating and hearing. So, I can only be me. This is something that I also had to think when I came from India, because in India, I mean, I think I'm pretty much me when I was in India, we're just trying to run things and, we're not anybody except ourselves. And then I'm brought out in 2014, they brought me out of India, first to Malaysia, by the way, brought me out with their heart to a Prakrita Prabhu, one of our devotees, anniversary of his passing away. And then from then on, I wasn't planning to sort of come out and be going in everywhere like that, but it happened. And then I had to think of how, what am I going to do? I mean, going and talking lectures and things, lecture halls, which they arrange. And really, I can only think, I can only be me. I can only talk to people, according to just what we know. So it works for some people, it may not for others, because, everybody doesn't click for the same thing. But Daivati, we appreciate that you're saying this for my encouragement. And so, together we try to encourage each other. But I know we're very limited in what we do know and what we can say, but we're very happy to share anything about Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and the basics of our devotional life. Because I've seen it from Gurudev. That's actually what he wants from us. And actually yesterday here, I can just share that yesterday here in Vila Govinda Ashram, we had it was a special day, because we were very much Navadip conscious. We had a program here actually, the room I'm in looks dark because it is dark, but it's Gurudev's own room. And we had yesterday the program here in the morning. The thing is, it's too dark to show you really very much. Oh, there you are. If I get out of the way, the room. And basically, we were just remembering, like actually transported to Navadip, and interestingly to Dum Dum Park in Calcutta, which I was explaining to the devotees. I felt that Dum Dum Park is sort of the first branch of Chaitanya Saraswat Math, which if we think of other temples around the world, then really they're almost like Dum Dum Park, but in another place, because Dum Dum Park, it was the first, branch of Chaitanya Saraswat Math, and Gurudev was there a lot for the various work in Calcutta. And so yesterday, we were remembering very much Navadip, Guru Maharaj's veranda. Navadip, Gurudev's veranda means with Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj's veranda with Gurudev, Gurudev's veranda. And Calcutta is veranda in Calcutta, the veranda right beside the temple. And how actually here, having a program in Gurudev's room, I felt very much like being in either, some ways reminding of Calcutta, because it's not exactly Guru Maharaj's veranda in Navadip, but it's the same, but different for those who've been in Thailand. Same, but different. And so we had a very sweet day yesterday, both the morning, that was in the morning, and in the evening in the temple room, we kind of followed the theme and we had a very Navadip day. So if we can share. something of Navadip, then we are very happy. I mean, Navadip of our Gurudev and Guru Maharaj.
And Maharaj, in Dum Dum Park, was that established in Guru Maharaj's time? That first little, whatever the house was before the temple and everything was built? There was something there prior to all that? Is that correct? Yeah.
The house was purchased, and it was a very, well, it wasn't broken down in the sense of falling down, but it was an unmaintained bungalow with multiple leaks from the roof and broken glass in the windows and things like this. That Gurudev, being Gurudev, he's just very careful about every rupee. And so he didn't put money into maintaining or to improving everything in the house, because his whole plan was that the temple is going to be there, the Nat Mandir and temple will be there. So the Dum Dum Park property came, yes, in Guru Maharaj's time, but not the construction. In Guru Maharaj's time, means with Guru Maharaj present with us, the deities in Koikali were installed.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a bit of a long story, but Bengal is a tough place to do anything, and you have to get the backing of the local, basically the naughty boys. Actually, really, I've seen this. You've probably seen also the Tarun Sangha. It's basically, young people who rule the area, through however they rule it. We don't have to go into that too much, but if they're on your side, they protect you. If you're not on your side, you can't get anything done. And so it was all being blocked by the politics, the communist, that time it was under communist. It was being blocked by the communists, which are, by their statement that you do everything, there's no religion, essentially. So they didn't want the temple. Many obstacles. Then Gurudev finally, he's thinking, well, it's not going to happen here, but we need a temple. So, and he wanted somewhere in that area near the airport. And in fact, I drove Gurudev to see several places, to different places when he's looking for some property. And then he got Koikali. And then he's thinking, okay, so this is the will of the Lord. And getting Koikali, I was also with him when he's negotiating with the naughty boys of that area and the various people. And Gurudev is very, we know he's clean, but he's brave and he talks to people, and he got them on his side and then got all the assurances. And then in this way, he got this property at just very near the airport. I mean, literally walking distance from the airport, if you like a little bit of a walk, but it is walking distance from the airport. And he got that property, and he wanted specifically to install the deities while Guru Maharaj is directly present with us on the planet. And so the deities were installed there in the house, and this is before the temple was constructed. So the deities were installed in the house, and where, for those who've gone to Koikali for a feast, usually, the festival, which has a feast, usually we take prasadam in a large room upstairs. That was the temple room. And then the Koikali temple was built. But after Gurudev got that property, then he was just sitting on the veranda, not his veranda, but sitting on the porch, the outside porch in Dum Dum Park of the bungalow. And then a person came up to him, just wearing ordinary clothes, and came up to him and said, "Oh, you are Govinda Maharaj?" And he said, "Yes, yes, I am Govinda Maharaj," wondering what's going to come next. And then he introduced himself, "I'm such and such," and he was the chief of police or something like that, a top police person of that area. And he introduced himself, and he said, they had some discussion, and I think he knew already perhaps that they hadn't got, that somehow the permission to build had been blocked. And anyhow, he knew of Govinda Maharaj. That's another thing that Gurudev pointed out. He knew of Govinda Maharaj. He's a local in charge, like chief of police. So they kind of know the characters in the area, the players in the area. And so anyway, without any coercion or anything, he told to Govinda Maharaj, I can arrange that you'll be able to make this temple here. And through that man, and I went with Gurudev to his home also on different times. It was a flat in one of these, flats. And he was, that policeman was a gentleman. I mean, he was a gentleman. And Kṛṣṇa sent him for doing the seva. And so this way, the Dum Dum Park temple came after Guru Maharaj's disappearance. But the property was there already. And somebody who knows the dates, I'm not very good with history. I didn't keep a diary. I kept a diary earlier, and as happens in India, things disappear. Kṛṣṇa relieves us of our possessions. And then that didn't happen. Then I didn't write it again. Okay. Here's me chatting away. But we want to share. Oh, yes, Praneshwari Didi.
Yes,
But we do
Maharaj.
want to share the things which we've seen. Why keep them in our pocket? We're happy to share.
And actually, Abhinava Sundar Prabhu and Kelly shared the link of Ocean of Nectar in the chat box. And there is the blind man and the elephant. That's the story.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to have an ocean of nectar somewhere. We've been talking about the overflowing, ever-increasing nectar, Ananda, with Ananda Vardhan. Now we have a link to an ocean of nectar. That's pretty good.
And also, Maharaj, in the chat, at the beginning, you have 2 messages from 2 devotees, Maladari Devidasi from Oregon, and then you have from London, Braja Vihari Das.
Jai, very good. So I read Maladhari Devidasi's message, and Maladhari Devi, very happy to know that you're there. And I do know, we see from the numbers that many more actually see recordings and see the live broadcast, and that applies to like Zoom, things that we do for in other places. And that applies to, you mentioning about Chiang Mai and their program, maybe just a few are watching the live broadcast, but seeing the repeat, as it were. And the same for Goswami Maharaj's talks, the various Zoom talks, Zoom or YouTube, Facebook, whatever they are talks. So I must also be aware that there are so many more seeing, and we appreciate your presence, and we hope to do some. We're simply sharing and being ourselves. What else can we say? Being ourselves. Braj Bihari Das from London. Braj Bihari, yes, Marjan. Maybe sometime now, yes. Hare Krishna. Oh, maybe I should read this quietly, not aloud. Hare Krishna. Okay. So what Praneshwari did, you're trying to embarrass me, right? But anyway, thank you for pointing these out, because the chats do disappear in Zoom after the program. So, and to Braj Bihari Prabhu, please, my obeisances, my remembrance of you for many years. And yes, 40 years now in devotional service. Oh dear. And Fulla says it is Nanda Maharaj, okay, who was taken by Varuna Devi, maybe. Anyway, he was taken by the god who was looking after that piece of water. Fulla Prabhu, you can maybe give us a fuller story next week. And here we have Ishopanishad, mantra 13 to 15. Except devotional service, there is no possibility of understanding the absolute truth. This comes up everywhere. Why can't the world understand that they have to be devotees? Any other process means it covered. Any other process means it covered. It is covered. Just like the ... You understand the sun planet from here. You are seeing the sun planet. That's a fact, but that does not mean you know it is what is actually the sun planet is, because you have no access to approach that. You may speculate, that's all. Speculation means the blind man seeing the elephant. Somebody thought, oh, it is just like a pillar. Yes, big legs. Somebody understood the trunk. Somebody understood ears, the elephant. There is a story. There we are. Yes. Okay, so we blind man and the elephant story today. All right. Sorry about being late, and now you see I'm running over our time and keeping you from all your duties too. I'm happy to be with you all, and I'm happy to be with you all who will be also seeing this later. And we are together. We have a beautiful family around the world, and we want to share and be happy. And sharing means we're hearing from others, and we're actually in hearing from others, we are reminded of things in our own time, which if we're not with devotees, we're not sitting and remembering this incident, that incident, etc. And every incident is very valuable in our Guru's pastimes. All right, I'll let you continue with your evening, your day. And for Praneshwari, by the way, in Florida, it is late in the night. That is another factor. So anyway, by the way, if everybody decides to change the time, but generally, if we cannot change the time, I think it is a good policy because it keeps it steady. So even those who sometimes sign in, they'll know it's at the same time rather than chopping and changing.
That is absolutely perfect, Maharaj. We won't change it.
But it's a bit late for some, a bit early for some, but if we change anything, let's see. All right, an opportunity for us to chant our big jais to our wonderful Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Our wonderful Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Our wonderful Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. And our grand Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, all our Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki jai, all our present day Acharya Brinda ki jai, all the devotees present now and the devotees who will be being with us, but just in a little bit of different time, ki jai. And Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And next meeting, I'll be on time. Dandavat.
Jai.
If Krishna allows, here's me being so bold to say, I will be on time. But Krishna can do anything. But I have to stand up for what other people say is my British identity. But I try to be punctual. Gurudev was punctual. So it's not just a British thing. Dandavat, Dandavat. New Zealand, all our New Zealand in the ki jai. And very happy to see you on Antakrishna Bhu this week. I know not all of you were able to come, but you were able to be with us this week. So we're very happy. Dandavat, Dandavat. And our Australian crew, our South African crew, each other.